Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is David Nates and today's topic is about my favorite movie, Back to the Future. If you have been following my channel or know me personally, you probably know how much of a Back to the Future fan I am. Literally, it's the movie that I used to watch every single day as a child. I was such a fan of it that I would reenact scenes over and over again and become obsessed with time travel and also becoming an actor. This is probably why growing up I loved reading anything that had to do with Albert Einstein and the theory of relativity. Basically for me, it was taken straight from sci-fi that the closer one was to travel at the speed of light, the more time would stretch for the person accelerating at that speed to a point where time would appear to be moving much slower at the speed of light than for people traveling at much slower speeds. The thing about Back to the Future is that not many movies have impacted so many generations, such as this one. It's 35 years old and still being shown on television regularly throughout the world. Even to this day when you watch it, it's aged extremely well. My reasoning behind it is that even though there are sci-fi elements to the whole theory of time travel, the actual root of the movie is story-based and extremely relatable. For starters, Marty McFly, the protagonist of the movie, is a true hero and metaphor for a teenager overcoming all the awkwardness that being a teenager entails. He learns to believe in himself and proves to Principal Strickland that he isn't a slacker. One of the great sayings that Marty learns from Professor Doc Brown is, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Just thinking about this sentence gets me so pumped up because it's such a real thing that pertains to success in life. Nothing is accomplished without a ton of work. People may think they're giving it their best until they actually give it their all and start seeing progress in whatever they're trying to achieve. That's why all successful people put in the work to get in the positions of power that they dreamt of. But going back to the Future, another beautiful aspect of the movie is Doc Brown and Marty's friendship. They are two outsiders who fully understand and trust one another. This sums up pretty much how anybody would love to feel understood. Even though they have a huge age gap, they are able to overlook that and literally stick by each other's side through thick and thin. Plus, the eccentricity and energy of Christopher Lloyd's performance makes it so much fun to see them interact together. This brings me to George McFly. He is Marty's father, and the interaction that they have is awkwardly brilliant. Actually, Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis, the two writers of the movie, came with the concept for Back to the Future when Bob Gale wondered whether he would have befriended his father if they had attended school together. This leads to a crazy story where Marty is stuck in the past and bumps into his parents to find out his father is a big nerd, and then inadvertently manages to make his mother, Lorraine, fall in love with him. The level of nervousness that Marty has around her gives some of the most comical moments in the movie. Also, we can't forget that her love for her future son creates a paradox which results in a good chance that his parents may never get together. The crazy thing is that if they don't fall in love for one another, Marty and his siblings can never be born. In some ways, it's a perfect paradox because Marty faces the fact that he could become his own father, kind of like the Ouroboros paradox of the snake eating its own tail, creating an infinite loop and basically destroying the whole fiber of space, time, and reality as we know it. Since we're speaking about iconic characters in the movie, we can't forget Biff Tannen. Man, speak about stereotypical bully. What's funny is that as a kid, I would totally call bullies Biff at school as I was so into my character being secretly Marty McFly. I guess that's the child's imagination at play. But back to Biff, with his crazy sayings such as, make like a tree and get out of here, at the place of using the real saying, make like a tree and leave, or even how he knocks on George and Marty's head at different times in the movie and bursts out sentences such as, hello, hello, anybody home, think McFly, or even his many uses of butthead. It just cracks me up. It's just the perfect bully and extremely memorable. Of course, we can't speak of Back to the Future without mentioning the DeLorean. The car looks like a spaceship with its gull-wing doors and brushed stainless steel outer body panels. The funny thing about the DeLorean, even though it looks amazing, is the fact that it's super underpowered and can't even reach 88 miles per hour like the movie car does in the film in order to activate the flux capacitor, initiating time travel in itself. Just that fun fact is a paradox. Also, another fun fact about this car is that it was produced by John DeLorean from 1981 to late 1982, after which production was halted because John DeLorean had been arrested for drug trafficking. Talk about crazy history. Luckily for the DeLorean, the fact that it appeared in such an iconic movie has made it memorable, and will probably remain so for a very, very long time. Another thing that actually is extremely memorable in Back to the Future is its music. From The Power of Love to Johnny Be Good and all the expansive orchestra music from Alan Silvestri. 80s films have extremely memorable music for some reason. Robert Zemeckis said in an interview that he wanted the music to sound enormous so that the movie would feel bigger and more epic than it actually is, especially in the first movie. If you look at the VFX shots, there practically aren't any, and the ones that are there aren't too extravagant. When the first movie was filmed, they didn't know that it'd be such a big success, so the budget was pretty modest. Of course, Part 2 and Part 3 have pretty crazy VFX for their time. Anyways, all I can say is that it succeeded in looking grand because the music blends perfectly with the action on screen and creates a beautiful roller coaster. In the end, Back to the Future is and will probably remain my #1 favorite film of all time. Maybe it's because I watched it for the first time when I was 6 years old, or simply because it's the best story ever told. I can't explain it. This video just illustrates a bunch of things that touched my heart most in the film, but truth be told, I could be speaking about this movie for hours. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and hit the like button. Write me a comment too. Let me know what are your favorite things in Back to the Future, and if you've never seen it, well, do yourself a favor, stop whatever you're doing and go watch it now. You'll thank me later. Okay, well that's it. That's all I have to say. I'll see you guys in the next video.